All right, let's get right into it. So on February 5th, 2026, OpenAI dropped something that's really set to change how we all work with computers. It's called GPT-5.3-Codex, and trust me, it's way more than just another tool for coding.
Yeah, this quote from OpenAI, it says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures just how big they're thinking. We're not talking about a tool that just does what you tell it to do anymore. The real goal here is a true agent. So just think about it for a second. Imagine an AI that not only builds a new feature for you, but then goes and looks at how people are using it, analyzes the feedback, and comes back to you with ideas for what to build next. That's the kind of collaboration we're looking at.
Okay, so what does that actually mean in the real world? Let's unpack this whole AI Collaborator idea. And the wording here is super important. We're really shifting from an assistant that you just give orders to a genuine partner you actually work with.
And this table really gets to the core of it. The old way was pretty simple. You give a command, you get some code back. Done. But with GPT-5.3-Codex, it's a whole different ballgame. The whole process is interactive, it's happening in real time. You can guide it, tell it, hey, maybe try this instead, and basically steer the ship while it's tackling these big, complicated jobs. It's not just a tool for one little piece of the puzzle anymore. It's a partner for the whole shebang.
Oh, and get this, it's not just smarter, it's also 25% faster. And that speed, that's absolutely crucial. Why? Because it makes that back and forth, that real-time collaboration, feel totally smooth and natural. You're not sitting around waiting for it to catch up. You're working together, side by side, at the speed you think.
Right, so the big thing to remember is that this isn't just some abstract improvement on paper. We're about to see some real proof, some serious performance gains that show just how much of a leap this is. This thing goes way, way beyond just spitting out lines of code.
So check out these numbers. TerminalBench 2.0. That's basically a test of how well an AI can handle the command line. The foundational stuff every developer needs to know. The last model, it did pretty well, 64%. But this new one, it jumps all the way up to 77.3%. That is a huge leap in real-world practical skill. And here's a perfect example of what that extra skill actually looks like. So you ask it to build a simple landing page. The old model, yeah, it did an okay job, a good first draft. But GPT 5.3 Codex, it just gets what you're trying to do. It knows to frame the yearly price as a monthly discount. That's just smart marketing. Instead of a boring static quote, it builds a cool little carousel for the testimonials. It delivers something that feels totally polished and ready to go, right out of the box.
And you can see here, we're talking about so much more than just coding. The skills now cover the whole development process and even spill over into other jobs. This isn't just for developers anymore. You've got product managers using it to write up PRDs, researchers using it to analyze feedback. It can whip up slide decks, crunch numbers in a spreadsheet, help with debugging and deploying. Heck, it can even write tests and edit copy. It's really becoming a collaborator for the entire team.
Okay, now we're getting to what is, for my money, the most incredible part of this whole thing. It's not just about what this AI can do for us, it's about what it did for itself.
So you have to be asking, right? How on earth did they make such a massive jump in capability this fast? Well, the answer completely changes the game for how these things are even built.
Get this, OpenAI used the AI to help build a better version of itself. It's this wild feedback loop. So early versions of the model were put to work watching and debugging their own training. They helped the human engineers tune the system, manage all those GPUs. And this is the kicker, they analyzed their own test results to figure out where they were weak and gave the engineers key insights on how to improve. The AI literally became a coworker in its own creation. This could be the start of a whole new era where AI development just keeps getting faster and faster.
And this isn't some far-off future idea, it's happening right now. Just listen to this quote. The people actually building this stuff at OpenAI are saying their jobs are fundamentally different than they were just 2 months ago. That's how fast things are moving with this new way of working.
Okay, so with this much power, you've got to talk about responsibility. An AI this smart, especially with deep computer skills, means we have to have a serious conversation about safety. And OpenAI is tackling that head-on, especially when it comes to cybersecurity. So first, let's just understand what we're dealing with. The model scores a staggering 77.6% on these cybersecurity challenges. They're basically hacking competitions. What that tells us is that it has some seriously powerful skills. It understands software vulnerabilities so well that it could be used for both attack and defense. It's a double-edged sword. And because they know that, OpenAI has put a whole bunch of safeguards in place. This is actually the first model they've officially classified as high capability under their own safety rules. It's been trained specifically to be a defender, to find vulnerabilities, not exploit them. They've got automated systems watching it around the clock for any signs of misuse, and the really advanced cyber skills are locked down, only available to trusted partners. They're being very, very careful here.
All right, so let's zoom out and put it all together. We have an AI that's faster, way more capable, it helps improve itself, and it has some serious safety measures built in. So what does all this mean for the future of, well, for how we all work with computers?
When you boil it all down, the path here is pretty clear. This whole thing started with a mission to build the world's best coding assistant, but it's turned into the foundation for something so much bigger, a general collaborator for pretty much any professional. It's not just about writing code anymore. It's about using code and spreadsheets and all the other tools on a computer to manage a whole project from idea to launch. And that means way more people can build things, and the things we can build are just bigger.
And that really leaves us with one final big question. You know, if your computer stops being just a tool and becomes a true collaborator, an active, intelligent partner, what does that unlock? The possibilities are pretty much endless. So, I'll leave you with this. What will you build?